Startup Podcast PH is co-produced by Sprout Solutions. Check out our partners in the description. Startup Podcast PH is at ENSPACE Cebu and we'll be interviewing startups from Cebu. In this episode, we have Hiverooms, an all-in-one platform with property management system, booking engine, and channel manager for hotels, resorts, and accommodation operators. And its VP for Business Development, Enrique San Juan. Hello again. Welcome to Startup Podcast. Kamusta? Kamusta?
Hi, Zan. Good to see you, man. Welcome to Cebu. I heard it's your first time.
Yeah, it's my first time. Karating ko lang 4 days ago. And yeah, Cebu is wonderful actually. So,
Good to hear that.
ayun. So I interviewed you before, no, for a different startup, and now I'm
Yes.
interviewing you again for Hiverooms. So
Right.
yeah, can you do more intro about Hiverooms, Enrique? So ano nga ba ang Hiverooms?
Yes, John. So Hiverooms primarily is, we always say this, we are a Philippine brand and we're very proud of that. And we would love to work with Philippine brands as well. So we are primarily a technology-based company and we also offer property management and hospitality consultancy service. So a team of experts that have very wide experience in the hospitality industry and also a very good understanding on the technologies integrated into those business models. So iba-ibang role, iba-ibang experience, and we put it all together. We bundle it up and offer it as Hiverooms.
Yeah, pwede ba natin himay-himayin natin yan, ano? So maraming ginawa kasi Hiverooms for hotels, for resorts. So let's go first dun sa property management system. Like in this aspect, ano ba yung parang pain point or parang problem sa mga hotels, sa mga accommodations that such that they need like this kind of system, this kind of property management?
Sure. So, in terms of like operating a hotel, a property management system is about the monitoring of the availability of your rooms, the conditions of your rooms. Are they now ready for check-in again? Have the guests checked out, left the property in good shape? Housekeeping has cleaned it, and it's ready to be sold back again. Now, if you do not have a property management system, you might need a lot of people to do the monitoring, the cleaning, the front desk
Manual.
operations, etc. Yes. So for properties, big or small, they need something where they can centrally look at the information on the status of the room so that, well, the housekeeping would know whether or not they're allowed to enter the room already because the guests have, is ready for cleaning as they are about to check out, and then announce and inform to the front desk if it's available for selling again. So normally radyo, tawag,
Yes.
etc. But if you have different cleaners and you only have one line to inform your front desk, you don't have to do that anymore. Everything is shown on a monitor. There's a dashboard. And mag-green light na lang lahat yung mga rooms. Pag nag-green light na ngayon yung mga rooms, they can sell it back.
Oh.
Yes.
That's true kasi sa mga medyo, I mean, I've had experiences as as a person na nag-stay sa hotel, like sometimes yung mga medyo 2-star, 1-star hotel. Totoo, nagkakagulo talaga yung mga cleaners minsan. I mean, di na alam kung okay na ba yung room, kung andun pa ba ako. Minsan, lilinisin na yung andun pa ako. So,
Yeah.
if you have like an all-in-one platform, na connected yung nasa lab, yung nasa baba, and then yung mga cleaners, and they can easily communicate.
Yes.
How about the booking engine naman, yung booking part?
So now that your rooms are available to be sold again, you will now pass it on to the availability and that is shown in your booking engine, right? The booking engine also is the tool where you're able to allow the guests to book the room pretty much. Yeah.
I see.
So now that your property management system says, hey, the room is now available, and then the front desk or the front office typically would now pass on that information to the booking engine. Diba? Sasabihin na, okay, it's back, ready na. Ready na siyang i-book. So pag nag-visit na ngayon si traveler, si hotel guest, doon sa mga popular favorite online travel agency websites nila, they can now see that the room is ready for booking. And they go through the process, the booking, we search the property, we find the property. Okay, hotel in Cebu City, ganyan. I want to stay somewhere near IT Park, yan. Makita mo si I Park, you'll book it.
Yeah.
And then, you proceed with your payment, etc.
Oh, ang galing. So,
Yes.
central platform siya na may internal, like yung ano,
Oo.
may internal tsaka may external din for
Yeah.
people who will book. How
Correct,
about
correct.
yung channel manager naman?
Yeah. So all of us, we all have our different favorite online travel agency, right? Kunwari
Hmm,
ako, I prefer booking on Expedia, Booking.com, Trip.com.
ah,
Yeah, yan sila or sila Traveloka, Trip, right? They're all there. So now if yung property na yun is especially they want to capture a wider market, you can use a channel
yes.
manager to be able to connect to all those
Oh,
online travel agencies. Now, what friction are we removing or what burden are we removing from the teams that work for the hotel, the front office, the sales and marketing? They no longer have to individually link
mm,
up
yes.
as a property to those platforms.
Mm,
Instead, they work with Hiverooms and then Hiverooms will connect with all of those different online travel agencies.
hmm.
And then we also manage it with them and for yeah.
Amazing. So actually, Hiverooms is parang connecting everyone 'no, na related dun sa hotel, yung internal, yung operations dun sa loob, and even yung outside, yung booking, and ito nga mga
Yeah.
channels pa na where more people can actually see and book hotels. Amazing. But can we ano lang, can we dig deeper like on the maybe like on the state of accommodations of hotels sa Cebu? I mean, Cebu is like very booming in terms of tourism, like ang daming pupunta dito sa Cebu. Pero like in terms of managing these hotels, managing these properties, this accommodation. So, ano ba yung parang state ng Cebu? Like, what's the state of the Cebu in terms of this industry?
So Cebu was, of course, heavily affected, no, because of the pandemic. And then we had a second hit. We had the Odette after that. So it was quite difficult for the industry to be able to go back to its pre-pandemic levels. However, with the community of the accommodations operators and the players within the tourism industry working together to move forward, right? And it's slowly picking up. People are able to visit Cebu again. There's growing new markets that are not the usual international guests or visitors of Cebu. So aside from the USA, Europe, other neighboring countries, Southeast Asia, there's a growing market for the Australians and people from New Zealand.
Hmm.
Yes.
And right now, Hiverooms is connecting with hotels and resorts, right? So is this like high end, medium end, low end, or any accommodation in Cebu?
We work with different property types and we're happy that they also work with us. With the myriad of offerings of Hive Room, we are able to provide full service to a property, or they may also need a certain segments also of our service.
Hmm.
So
Ah,
yeah, so some more established properties and they already have their own internal systems. There are certain gaps that needs to be filled,
oh,
and high rooms would
hmm.
come in to help them. And then for properties that are fairly new or smaller properties that can't really afford big teams, where our services are able to fill in those gaps as well. So we get to work with them.
Is payroll processing taking too much of your time? Introducing Sprout Payroll Starter. For as low as 5,000 pesos per month, you get a team of experts to help you with your payroll and HR needs. We'll help compute and process payroll, handle all your government compliance requirements, and automate timekeeping. Leave the payroll to us so you can focus on growing your business. Enjoy peace of mind with Sprout Payroll Starter.
So basically, just to sum it all up, ano, so Hiverooms is parang nag-o-offer siya ng technology, nag-o-offer siya ng system for like the management of the whole hotel in terms of like the
Yes.
internal operations tsaka yung booking for people for
Yes. And bringing in the guests.
bringing in the
Yes.
guest,
That's
ayun.
correct.
So, let's go naman, Enrique, sa iyong stories as a founder. Kasi last time, medyo naninibago ako dito kay Hiverooms eh. Kasi last time I interviewed you for a different startup, si Oh My Genie. Ano. So, can you
Correct.
share lang, Enrique, first, how did you get into Hiverooms? And you can tell na rin, like, your story, your journey in the startup world here in Cebu.
Yes. So, well, here in Cebu at least, people that are active in the startup community, they know that I'm also part of a different tech startup called OMG, Oh My Genie. And that's where I started, no, in 2018, around that time. And the encounter with the founder of High Rooms was really just over lunch, you know.
Oh.
So we have a common friend. His name is Dan Diaz, and he's a founder of Seed for Common NGO, where I'm also part of for the last 10 years. Where I also sit as the VP for the officer for business development, right? So he's been mentioning to me about a certain guy that's working in Dubai and started this tech startup company that deals with properties and hotels, etc. And who doesn't love to travel, right? And I was like, it's a very cool project. At the time, like around 2020, 2021, that was also when we were very busy pa. So I said, yeah, that's so cool. Maybe we'll just, we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can collaborate on something. And then about 2022, towards Q4, I had the chance to have lunch with Herbert and Dan. And over lunch, he was telling me about what they were doing at Hiverooms. And I said, sige, I can come in. Maybe I can start as a consultant. And we'll see how it goes. And just like over a few months, we got to know each other. We kind of like our working style. I think there was an understanding already on our strengths and weaknesses and how we can complement each other. And so I said, sige, I think I'm quite ready to put in more time. So about March of 2023, I officially got onboarded and no longer just as a consultant, but VP for business
Mm.
development. And with him together, Herbert and I developed our strategies and we applied them. And in the last at least a little over a year, we are now at 30 properties
Oh,
and over
wow.
800
All
rooms.
over
So
Cebu
that's in
and beyond.
Cebu.
Meron
Meron
bang beyond?
tayong Bantayan Island, no, in the
Oh.
municipality of Santa Fe. And then there's also Negros.
Mm.
And of course, Mactan Island. And very recently, less than a month, we have a property in Pangasinan. Yeah.
Oh, wow, wow. Okay, so I need to stay in a high room
You
accommodation.
should. Ano ba plano mo this month habang nandito ka?
This week I'm doing interview nga dito, but actually baka next week I might go to Bantayan Island nga or to
Perfect.
some
Yeah,
place
sige, let me
outside the
know.
city. Yeah.
Meron tayong property partner there. It's
Oo.
a Seda Guest House.
Mm.
Yeah, it's right, minutes walk, very malapit lang, like a block away, basically
Mm.
to the beach.
Mm.
It's a very, me personally, architecturally wise, I love it's so cozy. It's attached to a heritage house also. You'll enjoy it there.
And
Let me know.
yeah. Curious lang pala about Hiverooms kasi Hiverooms is parang offering a tech, like a tech solution, a tech platform. Pero parang keen din kayo on like the marketing aspect here, on like the advertising aspect. So ano ba talaga yung parang approach ni Hiverooms? Parang is it really like holistic approach to accommodations? So, I mean, how really do you help these hotels, these resorts, these places? So is it really like holistic?
Right. So the primary offering is really the technology first, right? Um, the technology is usually extended to the property, but not many providers, or we don't even know other providers
Hmm.
that really work with the teams within the
Ah,
management of the
okay.
hotels. And
Hmm.
we feel that we need to extend our services in those
Okay.
areas. Yes. Herbert, the founder, has a very deep experience in the hotel industry within the Philippines and also abroad. So his expertise on revenue management is able to help property
Mm.
owners or mga GMs and DOSMs, directors of sales and marketing, to really understand
Mm.
their business
Mm.
better and how to create good product mixes and price structures. So you, at the bottom line, even if you're not so busy, you still have healthy profits,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of properties here in Cebu kind of went on a different path before where you have volume. Yes, your sales are big, but then it's really like at what cost,
Mm.
right? So those are the things where we come in. And then we also have a team of consultants that helps with kunwari, the GMs who don't really know how to run them, based on industry or truth be told, a lot of families here in Cebu build the property because they have the funds for it. They give it as gifts to the children. Sana all, di ba? And they don't really have a quick or good understanding of how to operate one. So we also provide them consultants for that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's actually amazing kasi I mean, this kind of startups, you offer a tech pero hindi ka lang dapat makulong dun sa tech that you provide. Kasi if you dig deeper like in the hotel industry for these
Mm,
hotels, parang meron sila ibang problems na actually you can solve. So parang yun yung
yes.
ginawang path ni Hiverooms na you offer this platform, you offer this system, pero discovering like ano ba talaga yung challenges pa ng hotel. So you actually offer more services,
Correct.
more
Yeah. So syempre there was really a dialogue on, do we do this? Should we like, oh, remain like, such a snob? No, we're just a tech. We're all tech. Just,
yeah.
have the tech there and let them use it. But the reality is, a lot of the operators or the owners of the properties here really need proper guidance, right?
Mm,
Again, there are cases where they look at it as a retirement project and they feel like
mm,
just because people will come to their property, they already know what to do with it or how
mm.
to sell it, or they think that um, they build the resort and everyone's just gonna come, and
Yeah,
then
actually.
6 months down the road, they're like wondering where's everybody. So it's never like
Hmm.
that. Yeah. So
So parang rin nga kayong consultancy for hotels. May parang ano kasi
correct.
siya, may parang gano'ng approach din si Hiverooms.
Yes, we do. We
Hmm.
really guide them. I think that's really the best way to put it because in the end, we look at them as partners, right? The success of
Hmm.
high rooms really comes first with the idea of the fact or the fact that the properties that use our tech should also succeed first.
Yes, of course, of
Yes.
course. Amazing. And by the way, natuwa lang ako dun sa term na revenue management that you mentioned kanina kasi that's also actually my master's thesis. I mean, I'm in revenue management. So,
Oh,
i-clarify lang natin yung revenue management. Kasi ang hotels, parang these are fixed assets, like the rooms. You
right.
you already, I mean, the hotel owner already paid for it, already built it. And
Yeah.
kung unoccupied siya, like for a night, that's actually parang unutilized capacity, unutilized ano.
Correct.
So, somehow
Yes.
you can like change the price, you can lower the price to
Mm,
attract more people. Kasi you'll still earn pa rin naman if you lower the price kasi it's already like a sunk cost eh. So,
correct.
parang that's what you do in revenue management.
Exactly.
You do
You
these
play
things,
around.
you play around these prices, yeah,
Yeah.
and then to maximize basically your revenues or your profit. So, do you also offer that consultancy service like the revenue management approach for hotels?
Yes, yes. In fact, we have clients already that avail of that
Oh,
service. And I think tomorrow we're meeting two or three possible property here.
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
in properties here in Cebu that would seek that help
mm,
specifically. Um, there is a need for a revenue management service as well, and that's also one way for us to be able to price the rooms properly, position the property correctly in the
yes,
market,
yes.
right, and of course to attract a certain market as
Mm,
well. So we really have to match the prices
mm,
based on the amenities, the offering,
yes.
where all these different factors, there are a web of different things that you need to understand first before you actually arrive at the price. You don't just look at your neighbor like, hey, how come they're selling it
Actually,
at
true.
this price, but then it doesn't work for you because the reality is it's not for your property. Every property is as unique as an individual. So we really need to understand the persona of the property first before we even sell it. Yeah.
Galing, galing, galing. Actually, no, that's amazing really. That's ayun. So, I want to know more about you, Enrique, ano, kasi you're aside from a startup founder, you also wear many
Yeah.
hats in the whole startup ecosystem here in Cebu. So
Mhm.
you're also part of some other organizations. So
Correct.
can you tell to our viewers so like all your persona here in Cebu?
I always joke as people would message, you're doing so many things. Well, I have 16 personalities to take
Dami
care of
naman.
all of those things. But yes, so one organization I'm part of is called Seed for Calm. Uh, that is an NGO. So it's about 10 years old now, and our primary causes are focusing on renewable energy systems, and then meron tayong programs on education, and then also on environment and enterprise, right? For community-based enterprises. Most of the time, we try to integrate all those four when we work with the communities. And very recently, we have been providing internet connection in last mile communities through that NGO, through the support as well of our partners and sponsors, no? So we are in last mile communities, meaning it is in an islet with under 1,000 people, of course, of Cebu, or maybe a farming community in the upland of Metro Cebu. So that's the profile. It's typically places where mobile and internet signal are not available. So we work with low orbit satellite internet. Yung isa naman, I've mentioned a little bit of Oh My Genie already. We're a logistics company and our software is AI. So we were funded by DOST and this has been running from 2018 already. So mga 6 years old na rin siya as a company. And several pivots, right? As I've shared with you. And very recently, I'm also part of the Cebu Pride movement. It's very new. It's 1 year old, and we are now on our second installment. Meaning, this month of June, we have a series of different activities that campaigns on diversity, equity, and inclusion as our main banners. So for that, we are now able to get 80 organizations as of today. Over the weekend, parang 72, may dumagdag na 8. So these are different organizations from the different sectors that share the vision of Cebu Pride movement in providing opportunities for everyone, no? Making sure that opportunities are available and accessible whoever you are, wherever you come from.
Mm. Ayun. Going back dun sa startup, ecosystem ng Cebu. So you're part of 2 startups.
Yeah.
What do you think about the startup ecosystem in Cebu? Like your overall feel, your overall perspective kung gaano ba how are the founders here and how also like yung parang adoption ng mga tao sa tech sa like for example if you're offering the tech of Hiverooms sa mga
Mm.
clients, so how kumbaga accepting
Receptive.
receptive are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, for the past siguro 10 years, I think there's higher adoption already in terms of technologies that's being integrated into businesses. And for us, there might have been different scenarios, no, in the tech startups that I'm involved in. But in the end, it's really the decision makers that really say whether they want it or not. A lot of mid management people would want to integrate technologies for streamlining. Sometimes business owners are going to say, especially those that have operated more than 30 years, why change when everything has been working?
Yeah, exactly.
But right now there seems to be a catch up thing that's happening, diba? Why do it when it's already working? But
Yeah.
now they're understanding better the need of it because perhaps they're feeling the pain
Mm.
in terms of income compared to like they can see their peers in the business that, oh wait, they're using a
Mm.
technology in their business, they're using softwares to streamline their systems. So
Perhaps there's room for growth.
yeah, so now they're like open. So I think that's where it's coming in. And generational thing, right? So now that some business owners are passing on the baton to the younger generation, we have meetings where we meet with the children who are now probably in their late 30s or early 40s. And part of the discussion is always about that. So I see that there is a bright future in the next 5, 10 years in terms of the adoption of the technologies, especially by the ones that are made by local tech startups in Cebu. Henceforth, why I'm very, very supportive of younger people that are getting into the
Mm.
tech entrepreneurship space. And with that, we have like sort of like a community hub, creative hub that we operate in Banawa. It's called
Oh.
White Hart Lane.
Mm.
Yes, it is a creative community hub and it is also an event space, but we would really lean towards creating specific events that will nurture the communities that belong to the creative and tech startup space.
Speaking of that, Enrique, kasi you're part of like many organizations, and I can see in you yung parang may passion for like building this community, nga building this. I mean, as you said, building younger generations to be like entrepreneurs to be. So, what keeps you motivated on this? Parang saan nanggagaling yung motivation to do all of this?
Siguro for as part of motivation, I find a lot of fulfillment when I see them also grow.
Mm.
Yes, more than anything, there's an opportunity to be able to learn from each other, right? I guess you need to download information from what the young people know to also see what the trends are, what they are working on, where we can come in and complement. And also from the fact that I know I grew up in an environment where I was allowed to be able to try things. I was always allowed to fail, try something, fail, improve. And if you don't provide spaces where kids or young people are able to be allowed to fail or make a mistake, then there's really no innovation that will happen.
Mm.
So I think having co-working spaces, community spaces such as ENSPACE, or maybe what we're doing there in White Hart Lane. We
Mm.
want these young people or those that would like to get into business have a place where they
Yeah.
can say, hey, you know what, I want to try something. And then if in the time and space that they want to do it, they don't really have the proper resources, we can come in. We can come
Mm.
in and help and maybe shout for more help
Mm.
and get everyone on board and make it work for them. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is actually what I observe and what I like here in Cebu. I mean, I'm just 4 days here, ano, pero parang ang fresh and parang ang supportive din ng mga tao, especially like in the startup ecosystem. Parang it's a community. It's a community na, I mean, I can see like how people support each other and how people
Yes,
interact with each other.
that's true. I think even for us as the startups, we feel the love that we share towards and for each other.
Mm.
Kasi pag may nagtanong and then like mention about something and I feel like, oh, you need somebody that is involved in this like type of
Mm.
technology or offering or service, then I know this person. You might want to
Contact.
contact. Yeah.
Mm.
It's important that we maintain that type of mentality where you could always be generous about information, networks, and
Yeah.
business because in the end, if the economy of Cebu in general, for
Yeah.
example, is
True.
really
True.
flourishing, and then
True.
one way or another, your business is also gonna get some type of
True.
business. And
True.
we've been getting a lot of like support as well, so there's
Mm.
really no reason for us to
Mm.
not give support to
Mm.
other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Sabay-sabay aangat ang Cebu.
True.
Going back to to Hiverooms. So what are like the future plans pa for Hiverooms? And by the way, what's like the vision for Hiverooms? Are you planning to like connect with all hotels here in Cebu and maybe beyond, maybe all over
Mm.
the Philippines? So what's like the future for Hiveroom?
Yeah. So ato to dyan, it's really just a retirement plan. Para bakasyon na lang ng bakasyon. But I think mas madami ang trabaho versus the bakasyon. Yes, we would like to go as wide as going around the Philippines. That's probably every founder's vision, right? Or business owner's vision. So we are now present in Cebu and then some in Negros and Bantayan Island. So we'd like to go to maybe Western Visayas or maybe Eastern Visayas, Mindanao, and some parts of Luzon. And in fact, right, I've mentioned earlier that we now have a property partner in Pangasinan. So it came sooner than we expected.
Mm,
And I'm interested on how we are going to move forward that way
yeah.
because even in the under of 2 years that we tried to introduce the tech to as many properties we tried to get on board. Now it's the other era, our other way around. They are now approaching us. Yeah.
Yeah. The best marketing is a good product.
Yeah. So kumbaga, I am very positive that within the 5 years or the next 3 years, we will be in different places across the
Yeah, but
Philippines.
actually that's true. Kasi I mean like in the Philippines, in my experience nga, I've been traveling na rin in some provinces, pero hindi lahat may ganitong central platform. Parang centralized platform na all-in-one na
Yeah.
magka-connect yun nga, internal operations, yung
Mm-mm.
cleaning, yung booking, yung reception,
Correct.
and then even yung booking sa agencies. Pero speaking about that, parang just to lang, kasi you're the business dev and you're also like, I think in OMG, you're like the marketing, right? So
Yeah.
parang what's the marketing approach aside from like having a good product? How do you approach this hotels? How do you approach these accommodations like for them to accept and utilize Hiverooms, that type of Hiverooms?
There are not very like strange ways of doing it, right? Nothing too unique.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you start with the people that you know that might be in the
Mm.
industry. You get in touch with them. That's really how we went for
Mm.
it. And then, a quick message or email with properties, and they set up a meeting. Sometimes it's a go, sometimes it's a no. So it's really pretty much that way, and
Mm.
it has been for the last 2 years. So for now that we have some type of traction already, we can put it out there. And when people visit our website,
Mm.
they can see the progress. So they might be the wait and see type of business people. That's when we welcome them. And when they ask us to like present again or maybe meet up with them, then of course, yeah, we're open. So it's a bit high touch.
Mm.
Yeah. I guess because we are still in our path to our first 100 properties, right?
Mm.
But I think after that, it might be more streamlined
Mm.
in the sense that if it's going to be a go-to brand already, then the onboarding process should be quicker.
Mm. I have to say one thing. So far, I have interviewed 4 startups here in Cebu, and so far, very parang may difference like in other startups. Kasi parang when I ask startups here in Cebu, parang super mas aligned na binibuild yung business model. Kasi
Mm,
when you hear other startups, parang they're more aligned like to get investments, to get investors. Pero when I interview yung past four, parang in what I hear, in what I see, parang focus talaga is ayun nga to get the next 100 customers to really
right.
build the business. What do you think about that ano pala? About that ano rin parang yeah, yeah, yeah.
Approaches. Well, there are two different ways naman talaga, right? If you're trying to build the business itself or you like look for investors, etc., you're allowed to do either one,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
If you feel that your team is on board to work on getting a lot of investors or investment money and then implement, well, good for you.
Mm,
For us, we've talked about it,
mm,
and it is part of our activity also to
mm,
speak to some investors.
mm,
In fact, we have
mm,
approached,
mm.
and we also have been approached.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So
so these are also different ways for us to understand that okay, people are paying attention, people are seeing
mm,
us.
mm,
There are businesses from outside the country, in
mm,
fact, that are already willing to put in money in Hive Rooms. They're
mm,
willing to take that risk with us. But we kind of want to just continue to grow the business just so we understand the ins and outs
yeah.
before we really truly expand. Because we might end up, being too quick in acquiring such an investment, and then internally the operations
Yes,
and the systems
exactly.
are still not in place. Yeah.
Mm,
As much as we would want to acquire huge investments, I think we're open to like getting some already, but maybe pragmatically, yeah, so
mm,
that we would also be able to service our existing clients properly.
mm,
And even though we were at some point in our life or our journey last year, na parang, oh, maybe the only way to really get it is getting it done is get a massive investment, like with a runway of 5 years, etc. But able to tide it out. And now that there are going to be potential investors that are
mm,
interested to
mm,
come in, we feel more confident. In fact,
I
yeah,
see.
that I think we now have proper leverage on the business and
Mm.
how we can proceed with possible, investors coming in.
Yeah, but that's the term really pragmatic. I like that term, pragmatic. I mean, really pragmatic ang approach ni Hiverooms, of course, like to building this
Mm,
business. Ayun, so I think I've asked all that I wanted to ask. So maraming salamat, Enrique. If our listeners
yes.
pala want to know more about you or Hiverooms, so how can they contact you? Maybe you can lead them to the website of Hiverooms, social media channels. So feel free to invite them to know more about Hiverooms.
Hi everyone. Thank you for watching this in-person podcast finally with John. I'd like to invite all of you to visit our website. It's hiverooms.com, and you can use the code USEHIVE, USEHIVE, and you can enjoy up to 40%
Wow,
discounts.
laki.
Yeah, on your accommodation. That may vary, right, for the properties, but I think everyone else there mostly generous naman. Yeah. So if you come down to Cebu or go to Pangasinan, Bantayan Island, some properties in Negros or Lapu-Lapu City, you can visit our site and check out the properties. Yeah.
And that's the revenue management pala ano, yung pag-offer ng promotions. Kasi that's like added revenue for the hotels, eh, no? I mean, because
Yes.
these are fixed assets na if kumbaga they can offer at a lower price because
Correct.
it actually brings in more revenue, more.
Yes, John. In fact, we already have inquiries and discussions, no, meetings with
Mm.
clients that are, kunwari, you have some funds, you want to start a business in the
Mm.
hotel or resort, accommodations, you don't know how to manage your fund properly, we can also guide you
Mm.
on the proper design, the
Mm.
proper size that's fit for your funding
Oo.
areas, ganyan. Just so that you don't throw out this X number of millions of pesos and then you don't know what to do with it, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a property na hindi naman siya swap for that area.
Yeah.
So instead of building right away, approach us, talk to us. Let's invest in the studies and the research
Mm.
first before you even build that structure. Baka nakagastos ka na ng mga half
Yeah.
billion dyan. Hindi mo pala dapat itinayo yung
Yeah.
hotel mo dyan sa
Mm.
area na yan.
Mm.
Yeah.
So really all-in-one si Hiverooms ano, may tech, may consulting for like tama ba yung ginagawa sa business ng hotel mo, and really, really, really all holistic support for like marketing, advertising, everything that a hotel may really need. So ayun, maraming salamat Enrique. It's nice to meet
Thanks,
you
John.
personally.
Yeah.
And thank
Glad
you.
to have you here.
Thank you for having this conversation.
Thank you for interviewing me. It's great to be here with you.
Thank you very much to our 45 patrons. This episode is super powered by Ask.ph Academy, our official e-learning partner. Get certifications on Lean Six Sigma, project management, data science, and more. ROC.ph, our creative marketing partner. Get unlimited digital marketing services monthly. Juan CFO services, bookkeeping and tax, and payroll processing for startups and small businesses. ENSPACE Cebu, global co-working space, private office, and meeting rooms for startups, digital nomads, and freelancers. Tuala, privacy-focused digital experience for sharing identity information across Web 2 and Web 3 ecosystems. Mamiki Super Pet App, the Philippines' first ever one-stop mobile app for pet products and services. MarketMind Local, a digital marketing company focused in helping small and medium businesses. Mata Technologies, Philippines' premier provider of virtual tours and maps for LGUs, real estate, tourism, and private businesses. Hire Business Solutions, provider of the most configurable cloud-based payroll system in the Philippines. Smile, consent-driven digital employment verification service to make smarter decisions faster. Divico Technologies, IT solutions specializing in software development, blockchain smart contracts, digital wallets, and cybersecurity. Drive Manila, PH's largest peer-to-peer car rental community. Ignite Careers, career matching platform for Filipino talents and hiring companies in the outsourcing industry. Looking for buy and sell online with Sigurado sellers. NutriCoach, personalized nutrition and weight loss programs for you. Benjoy's Food Products, the home of premium bacon ends, tapa, and tocino. This episode is powered by Contact RFID Business Cards, Jur.ph, Big Giant Games, Founders Launchpad, Packetworx, Uplift Codecamp, Pareto Consulting, Agile Data Solutions, Hassle.ph, Board Prep, Zayls, SeriousMD, Pahatid.ph. Please support the podcast through the links in the description.